Assalamu alaikum. This is teacher Asif Anas Khan, and today I'm making this video to share one of the recent experiences that I had in my life. There's a very famous saying that a man or a human, man mean human, a human learns from, and he should learn from the lap of his mother to the lap of the grave. And we need to do it's an obligation on everybody, whether you're male or female, to get education. This experience that I want to share is related with this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Everything, before March 2020, everything globally was going on smoothly, but then suddenly it came to the whole world came to a halt. Everything stopped economically, socially, educationally. Everything came to a halt, a sudden halt. Then what happened? The world did not stop. They had to come out of this problem. Of course, the problem was new, and the government, at the government levels, the people, they decided how they can economically help the people of their countries. And of course everything was done. Then what could have been done for the education sector? Yes, the people relate with the education sector. They also sat together, and they made different policies, and they came up with different strategies to save the student, because March is somewhere, it's the time of the year when mostly the students, they're appearing, or they're preparing for to appear in their annual examination around the globe almost. Or as I said, many of them, they are preparing, if we talk about the Cambridge examination. So it's somewhere, this whole period starting from March to July, it's examination period or around the globe in different boards. To save this 1 year of the students, the education sector, different boards, they had their own strategies. They devised different plans to save that 1 year of the students by maybe promoting them or lessening the syllabus for the next year examinations, and anything that can be done to support the education system is being done. Many of the schools, they decided to continue the online education, so that the students, they could be taken into loop, they could be taken into touch, they still could be kept in touch with the education, so that there shouldn't be more gap in their education, in their studies. As I am working in Fatma Fertilizer School, our school planned online support classes, and yes, different mediums were decided. For example, there were some classes for which WhatsApp was the medium of education. Now the teacher, they would send the WhatsApp messages, they would send the recordings of their lessons, or they would send different links, etc. That the WhatsApp was a medium. Then for some of the classes, maybe eighth onward, it was decided that the Zoom classes, eight onward, including AS levels and A level classes, it was decided that the classes would be conducted on Zoom, and the teachers, they would use the Zoom platform for carrying out the activities, educational activities related with their subject. Then the things started. We started teaching. As I said at the very outset of this video, that I want to share my own experience. So I also started teaching with the rest of the teachers. First thing that we started facing was the network problem, either on the teacher side or on the student side, but it was there continuously. It was there, right? Because when so many people would be using internet, yes, this is very natural thing to happen. It's very common thing to happen. Then what happened? The students, they were again on the risk side. Their future, their education was again on stake. So what I did, instead of thinking that the student, if they, for example, let me say I used 4 platforms. I used WhatsApp, Zoom Cloud Meeting, Google Classroom, and then YouTube. Now, although my school asked me or required me to use one in one section, and the other, that is Zoom, in the rest of the sections, according to the instructions of the school. But the other two, like Google Classroom and YouTube, was something that I added myself to help the students who were facing problems starting in the first grade. For example, WhatsApp. Now, the students, the different class groups were made there, other than the school official group. Every teacher, including myself, I made my own groups. So all the students, they would send me exactly on the class time their attendance in this group. After getting the attendance in the first 5 minutes of the lesson, I would invite them to the Zoom Cloud meeting. Now, the recording of the lessons were recorded, and later on, I would upload these lessons on Google Classroom, because many of the students here who would send me the attendance in the first phase, they wouldn't join me in Zoom cloud meeting, saying that they have poor network issue, etc. Although I faced the same thing. I went through the same poor network issue, but I managed my own internet, data, devices and different. But still, the network problem was there. So I recorded the lessons, and later on, after recording the lessons, in the very next half an hour, I would upload this lesson on Google Classroom. Now, all these students of one section were already added along through their email addresses on Google Classroom. They all were responding me there, because I started doing this from the 1st of June, although the classes started from 8th of June. So I had the students already in loop, because I knew how I would teach them. So I would upload the lesson there, the recordings of the lesson, along with the diary. I would write down the work that was done in the classroom and what was to be done as classwork or homework, as in the diary form on in the stream of Google Classroom. So the students who, after sending me the attendance here, would, if they wouldn't join me here, still they had the lesson at their disposal here in the Google Classroom to watch and then do the given work. But then again, I faced another issue. That was my space, available space in my Google Drive, that got finished. That was giving me the options to buy more space, etc., by paying some amount or something like that. So what I did, instead of, that was something that I couldn't do. So I devised another plan. I had my one YouTube account that I wasn't using for any purpose other than when I used to be the class teacher. I would upload my morning assemblies on that class, of my class on that platform, that is YouTube, so that the students later, they would watch what they presented. So I uploaded all of my lesson, those 3 weeks, first 3 weeks lesson. In the first 3 weeks lesson, because we had 1.5 hour classes, the duration was 90 minutes. So that would take 3 Zoom meetings. So in order to, and when I would upload 3 recordings of one class, no, I'm not talking about the 4 sections, I'm talking about only one section. Within 3 weeks, my space on Google Drive, that came to an end. So what I did, I took all the lessons from here the first 3 weeks, and I started uploading them on YouTube account. And then from YouTube, I would share their links in Google Classroom. Now the students, they still had everything available, but I had to do something more. After recordings, after getting the attendance and recording the lesson, I would go to the fourth place, that is YouTube, upload my lesson here, and then share its link in Google Classroom. And so that gave me 3, 4, 5, 5 GB space in my Google Drive. But this thing, why I'm sharing, because I had to devise. School was not asking me to do these things. I was not supposed to do. If there was some network problem, I could have just sent a message to the students, okay, do this and that in my absence, and I may ask them to read something on their own. But I didn't do that. On Google Classroom, I just want to say that I had enough opportunity to engage all students in writing their tests. I had conducted more. So I just want you to have a look. I'm just going to share what I did. Why I told you all these things earlier, so that when I share with you, you may not feel what exactly I want to do. You may not be at loss. So what I'm sharing is this. All right. Right now you can see this is Google Classroom. You can see all of my classes are shown here: 7A, C1, C2, and C3. And let's have a look at C3. You can see that on the C3 page, the last update that was done was made on 31st of August 2020, and I had given them the diary, right? And these are the materials. Materials mean the lectures, whatever I would have in the recordings of the lesson. See, online, and I gave this program online teaching COVID-19 classes, right? So here the students, they would, if they missed the lesson, we can see in the last towards the last week or the last classes, the students only asked, I have written it, only one student was present, and the other 4, they were absent. And so I would write the diary there. The students, they would know what is happening in their absence. Similarly, you can see I have the grades available here, and the grades are showing you, this is only one class that I'm showing you. See how many tests I had conducted in this, along with teaching my syllabus. I have completed the topics, I have completed 3 units, I have completed everything that I planned before this, and this only happened because of this strategy that I'm sharing with you. You can see that there are the tests and the dates are available, the names and the students marks are available. I would give them the test and see there's for 16th June and 20th of June, then 22nd of June, and then 6th July, 13th July. So all I kept engaged the student, and it's as per the requirement of this class. This class is C3, so I engage them in reading and then writing, and this is the last class, somewhat towards the last class, when the students they miss the lesson. And their test is not mentioned here because they missed it, so I have not updated anything here. And they can also search for their own results, and then we can see this is a page for my next section. And of course you can see all the stream. If you want to have a look at the stream, I can show you the stream. This is the diary of everything that's been happening. You can see from the very start, although I had only 10 lessons with these students, with C2 I had only 10 lessons, one lesson per week. But if you look at the work, I shared the syllabus with them, and then we started from 16th June, and then you can see everything is mentioned here. This is the material. The material means these are the lessons, and see the lessons. These material means the lessons, and here are the questions. These are the tests. So I've been conducting tests. I've been giving them homework, and then we've been again you can see reading for this is a test, and here's the material again. So lessons, and then their updates on Google Classroom. Everything is available here. And if you look at the tests, again, their own tests, they started from 9th June. That was my first, from 8th June, the class started. So see, I have been engaging all these students in different tests. Now you can see this one is still, because I changed after reading the students' comments on this test. I felt like I should have this test in face-to-face class. So I have not marked it, although I went through this test. It is so easy. I can see, you can see the students, when you click on any test, their responses are available here. And let me show you one more randomly. Let's take the last one, and see the students' responses are available. They've been writing, they've been answering, right? And then when the students, they would answer the questions after checking their tests, I would also give not only the marks but also the feedback at the end. Let me show you the feedback. Okay, here you can see I've been giving the feedback to the students. So it was not one-way teaching. I totally engaged the students in everything and tried my level best to make it a full classroom experience for them. Kept them engaged in doing work by giving them class assignments, and then also, okay, now this is my third section. And again, if you look at the stream, you can see how much work they've done. The tests and everything is available. Again, this is the material for their lessons, the lessons which I would upload on Google Classroom for them. And then the tests and everything, even if I share the mark scheme, I have written that here, and I've shared discussed the mark scheme that was also recorded, so that the students who might be not attending the lesson because of any reason, they could later on take help from those recordings of the lessons. Now, let's have a look at their own the tests that I conducted in this class. Again, you can see we had only 10 weeks of online classes, 10 weeks, and I had 2 lessons with them, 20 lessons. And in those 20 lessons, I not only completed 2 units, also started the third one. But here, see, these many tests, and they are marked as well. I did not just have these tests in the class for the sake of engaging the students in tests. I actually tested them, marked them, shared their feedback with them. So the last section you can see here, it's 7A. Again, I had my lessons with them, and see, we had done everything from like unit 3. You can see this unit 3 and unit 2, and then 2 units were given to us, and then I would engage the students in different activities from these units, right? And then right, this is unit 3. This is a great fire. We have started unit 3 as well. Okay, so last thing, that is the grades of the students. I have done this work and I'm feeling so happy that I planned something and I could do that later on. See, all the students, they are mentioned here, and their results of every test. They are, my first lesson with them was on 12th or something, June, and see, I engaged them, or maybe 13th of June, I guess, and I engaged them in the very first class in writing something. You can see the students, they've been writing here, and this is the response, and then you can see these are the marks of the students for their attempts. So everything was marked and the results were shared along with feedback, right? And if some students were absent, for example, see, one assigned, it means one has not answered, so name is mentioned here, because the student perhaps missed the earlier classes. But again, everything was available for their later coming back and I mean getting help from, in the form of recorded lessons. Then if we have just look at the last one, the last test that was conducted, you can see this is the last test, and I had my last lesson with them near about maybe 2nd of September or 3rd of September, and then you can see I gave them a descriptive writing, and the students, let me show some work of students. Yes, they did this work on their notebooks and shared the pages with me in WhatsApp group. So the WhatsApp group was not only used to get the attendance of the students. The students would send me the pictures of the pages of the notebooks that they would do any classwork on homework. Of course, I would not engage all the students every time to do work on Google Classroom. There were many things that did on their notebooks as well. And I have not opened WhatsApp here, but yes, everything is available on WhatsApp for the record as well. So now this is something that I did on Google Classroom. Now you can see all the lessons here. This now I'm giving you a glimpse of this COVID-19 recorded lessons that I uploaded on Google Classroom. You can see all lessons along with their weeks, like week 7 class C2, week 7 class week 7 C3. So all lessons along with their weeks, uh, and the classes and the parts. If one lesson was recorded in 2 parts, they are mentioned in parts as well, so that the students, they if in case that because of the poor network or anything, maybe they were absent, maybe they were sick, there were so many things that the students, they can have as reasons or excuses to miss the classes. But this is how I have done maybe more than 100% to ensure that each and every student studying in my class may not miss the thing. So that's the reason when I have done this much, and I also have received the students' work. There are 111 videos, you can see. These 111 videos are uploaded for this, and I have to use buy those packages on my own Zong device, so that I could upload these lessons timely for the students. So I have done everything that I could, and now I'm 100% sure that my students, when they would be back, uh, yes, I'm being lenient. I'm using flexibility in thinking that the students, they would maybe they would need revision of something, but not everything. So it wouldn't take more than maybe 3 days or 4 days for me to help those who might think that they are lagging behind. Hardly 2 to 3 days, and they would be with the rest of the classmates who did not miss any lesson. So with this, yes, what I learned, yes, coming back to, I'm stopping this share, so that, yes, before I stop this record, I mean finish this recording, let me say that I learned, I did not know that I could do this work or this much work. It's not only one-sided teaching, that I'm sitting here and the students are on the other side of the screen, of their, maybe screen of their tabs or their laptops or their mobile phones. It was nothing like that. It was like doing my 100% and trying to ensure that the students, they were available on the other side, they by returning the feedback to their work, so that I could involve them. When their results were shared, when the feedback about their work was shared, they felt like a classroom atmosphere was being created for them. So yes, on WhatsApp I made the in my junior most section, well, I also assigned the monitorship to the students, so that the students may own their class. And there were many students who were trying their level best to present the best of their work, so that they could be chosen as a monitor for the next task. So this shows the success of how I carried on this online support class system organized by, although as again I'm saying, all these things were not asked by my school. This is something that as a teacher on my own I did. So what I learned, that is, I can try myself. I learned that I can try myself in different respects, in different directions at the same time, and I can reach my goal, right? And then the students, like when they would be back, I hope we are going to have that experience of face-to-face teaching, because we missed that. Online teaching cannot substitute face-to-face classes, but I tried 100%, and I hope that 80 to 90% I was able to create that feeling of being present in the classroom by engaging all the students in question answer, in reading of the passages, in answering of different students' questions, peer questions, sharing the feedback, making notes, sharing the notes, etc., and marking the notes, and then many things we did. So overall, I'm thankful to Allah Almighty, who gave me this much strength to think in different ways, come up with my own, and I mean devise my own plan. How can I make this online teaching, instead of sitting on one side thinking, okay, network is not helping me, and Zoom is not working, or WhatsApp is better, I can send one-sided recordings and the students. That was also a way, but I did this way, and I liked myself doing this way. I really had this honor of achieve that honor that you feel after when you have gained an achievement. And it's I'm thankful to Allah Almighty, who helped me achieve my goal. So with this learning that I wanted to share with you all, because yes, I'm thankful to all of those parents. I'm really thankful to all those parents who appreciated my efforts. They've been sending me different messages, they've been calling me and appreciating the work that the way I carried out this online support system, the way the flexibility I brought in, and the way I provided a kind of classroom environment to the students. I'm really thankful to you, because your appreciation worked as a blood for me. And I tried to try different things. I tried to came up with the ideas to try different things. This was one of those factors was, of course, your appreciation and motivation, and that counts a lot. So with this, I thank you all. Let me share this video, and so that you may know how I did this, and again I could present my gratitude for your appreciation and motivation. With this, I thank you all. Allah Hafiz, take care.